Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the MrMaple Show. We put out daily content on Japanese maples here. I think you guys should go ahead and like this channel if you like Japanese maples. Hopefully by the end of this video, we've earned your subscription because of how great this video was.
Guys, I'm Tim. That's my brother, Matt. Check us out on MrMaple.com too. We're a family mail order business. We ship Japanese maples directly to your door, and we do over 1,000 different varieties, so check us out.
Tim, this is one of my favorite trees for a lace leaf. We're here next to lemon lime lace, y'all. This thing is showing out here in the Buckholz Gardens right now. This is one of the best kind of yellowy lime green lace leaves. Great texture. You can see that overall cascading umbrella shape to it. I think this makes a great addition to the garden. Now, whenever possible here on the MrMaple Show, we love to get specimens on camera. And this is one of the best specimens I've ever seen of Acer palmatum dissectum lemon lime lace.
I remember years ago when we sold everything we had and came out to the Buckholz farm. And then part of that trip, we got to go visit Del Laux. And Del Laux is the guy who found and named this tree. And it has this fun coral pink new growth in the early spring. And it's got a lemon lime kind of color to it right now in the older growth. But the new growth flushes during the summer, they're lemon yellow again. And so you really get that lemon lime lace in full effect with this weeping green lace leaf.
Yeah, it's one of the most chartreuse greens. That's where that name really comes from. And you can get greener, older growth, giving it a contrast even with itself between the yellows and greens. Highlighter yellow, especially at dusk in the garden, guys. This one shows up like you just absolutely stuck it with a highlighter. It is on fire. Now, the fall colors are exceptional too. This one's going to be yellows early to typically bold orangey yellow late. Really giving it a lot extra. Now, unlike waterfall, this one has a little bit more divided of a leaf. It's almost a little bit more red filigree-esque on the leaf. So the leaf is a little bit more heavily divided. It also tends to be a little bit more low and spreading. So think of it somewhere in between emerald lace and waterfall in the shape. It's going to be a little lower and a little wider. Not quite as low as the emerald lace, but definitely more spaced out, more of a canopy dome rather than more of an umbrella.
Yeah, 4 foot in height by 6 foot wide in 10 years. To me, this is that green lace leaf with something a little bit extra. So I like to pair it with something that's like a red upright that's a little bit extra, like Fire Glow. You know, Fire Glow has that glowing effect when the sunlight hits it. You put this out there with the Fire Glow, you got some dynamics happening in the garden right away.
All right, y'all, when we first got this from Del Laux, we were so impressed. Del Laux has a lot of great introductions from Lillian's Jewel, Cotton Candy, back to many classics like that emerald lace I mentioned. He even named Benny Hoshi. There's so many great plants from that nursery. And lemon lime lace is one in a long line of just home run hitters. I think Del is kind of on that Mount Rushmore for Japanese maples. He's a guy with a lot of great introductions. Probably one of his lesser known ones being lemon lime lace. I know when we first went out there and saw it, it blew us away.
Yeah, it was so cool. He had tons of liners, and he would just have liners everywhere. And he was kind of like us in the fact that he liked doing a big variety of Japanese maples. And there wasn't a lot of other people doing a lot of variety the way he was. And so he really had his toe in the water on all these different varieties and learning what was out there so he could actually be able to introduce something that was new and unique. Because that's the name of the game when you're putting something out there. You want something that stands out from the crowd. You want something that's going to give you something extra than what's already in the trade. And here we've got lemon lime lace right here just rocking it out next to this baby blue ice. I mean, the contrast between the blue and the yellow right now, it just adds a lot in the garden.
Now, Del Laux place was a lot of honey holes for a lot of people. It was kind of the unspoken place everybody went to. I know Talon knew Del, and they were friends, and they had a lot of connections. So he's been growing this one for quite a while. We first went there, and Tim saw this one, and he thought it was 777. So he said, Del, tell me about this lucky number 7s, because it had 777s, but you had to flip the label over. It was actually lemon lime lace. We had LLL there. We always kind of laugh about that because it seemed like lucky number 7s to us for a little while. This plant is exceptionally durable. It's going to work in full sun up to zone 8. It's going to work zones 5 through 9. You're going to want to give it some shade in zone 9 for sure. Guys, this one needs good drainage. You don't want it in boggy or wet feet. So it's kind of in a perfect spot here in this roadway. It's elevated a little bit on a little bit of a bank. I like to plant lace leaves on banks and just kind of let them fill out because you get that elevated area too, so you're not staying in water, being boggy. Got it here in a little bit of conifers, providing that splash of color. And it really just shows out, especially with this darker beach going on behind it. The color contrast and the textures, just immaculate.
Now this tree also makes a great container plant. Being a weeping lace leaf, you actually stake this up, let it cascade, and you might not be able to have a blue conifer next to it, but you can actually use a blue pot and get that same effect of the color dynamic contrast between it. It's always a fun way to grow a Japanese maple in a container, but make sure you've got good drainage. It's the #1 key with a Japanese maple is good drainage, and that's especially true in a container.
All right, guys, we're almost to the end of the video. We hope we've earned that subscription. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Join the Maple Mafia today. We're crazy. We put out 7 days a week of maple-related content. It's so much fun, and we appreciate you letting us provide this kind of content by continuing to watch it, guys. That's why we get to make it and do this fun stuff. Now you can support our channel by shopping on MrMaple.com.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.